guys, what's up, what's good? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dami Days. I know I haven't seen you in so long. It's been so long. 2021 was a beautiful year for me. It was an amazing year. I just felt like the Lord crowned my efforts. The little minimal effort I put in, he really, blessed it. So I'm excited to be back on YouTube, hopefully by God's grace, as he helps me really this year. So let's just get right into the video. I thought I'd just come here and kickstart this video with a story time. And a story time I believe most of us should be able to relate to, especially if you're Nigerian. If you're not Nigerian, just take a cup of tea and sit down and just sit here for laughs. Some insight as to how you can also go about your application process as well for the Nigerian passport. The Nigerian passport, my goodness, guys, let's get into it. So obviously, if you are in the UK, or to be honest, any Nigerian embassy, to be honest, I'm sure they all have their own reputation, but particularly the Nigerian embassy in London, my God. Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, England all share one, which is the one in London. This nice, cute place in London. The last time and the first time I'd ever went was a couple of years ago when I was about to go to India. So I went with my dad and I don't really remember having a good experience. I don't really remember the details, but I remember that I was on the queue for so long and yeah, it was just not a good vibe that I got that day. So every time after that, anytime anybody mentioned the Nigerian embassy, I was like, yeah, nah. I was like, I'm not going there if I don't have to. And also from other stories as well that everyone shared, like people that had some really stressful time for some people. So I had made up my mind towards the end of last year that I was going to renew my passport because it had expired, I think about a year or two before that. And I thought, you know what, I'm trying to travel more, trying to do more things, let me just update this passport just in case I would need to, step into Nigeria sooner rather than later. Let's just update it, no harm, right? This was like around September time and I wanted to give myself enough time because I didn't want this process to stress me. And usually you would hear of like the stressful stories or the horror stories regarding the Nigerian embassy, but to God be the glory, by the special grace of God. So thankful for his favor. I had a great experience actually. It would be unfair for me to say that I had like a really terrible experience. So I'm hoping that what I share today is not the tea, it's not the end all and be all. I'm not saying that if you do these things you'll definitely have a positive experience, no, because I definitely witnessed some really not so great experiences for other people, but I'm so glad that I went with the whole lot of Holy Spirit and I went hopefully with all the right documents that he asked for, and I think that really helped as well. I was literally in at 9 o'clock or 9:30 whenever they opened, and I was out by like 10:30. Like, it was amazing and it came in time as well, but I'll give you all the gist. So let's just rewind back to like September. I think I struggled more in the process before the embassy, like before going in for my biometrics, than actually at the biometrics, because I didn't understand that website. Like, that website looks like it's been hacked. Like, it's literally very poor. I'm so sorry. Like, I look on the, like when you go on the website, like when the websites are having issues and you're like, what, I'm going to come back later and hope that this is not what the website looks like. Why is it looking like this? But until you click on something, then it leads you to another website, right? So I went on the website hoping to, acquaint myself with whatever I need, how long the process would be, possibly, all of that good stuff. Don't take my word for it. Everything changes, my God. If you're working with the Nigerian embassy, please keep up to date with information and read the information. And I'm sure as I tell this story, you would understand why. But yeah, if that's the only thing you take out of this, if you're going to do research, read the information properly. Take it as they said. highlight, underline, read it, right? If you want to do like a standard application or renewal or like first passport, I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of things because it would be different for you. So my one was just renewal of passport because I'm already a Nigerian citizen and my passport had just expired. So it wasn't like I was a British citizen trying to apply for a first-time Nigerian passport or my name changing, all of those complicated stuff. No, everything was staying the same. I just needed a renewal of passport. So bear that in mind as well. One thing I found weird, or first thing I found weird amongst many things, was when you're filling in your application form, it asks for your Nigerian address. I'm like, I've not been to Nigeria in like 11 years. Why are you asking me for Nigerian address? But they believe that if you are a Nigerian citizen, you should have an address that you can, I don't know, call home, or you can refer to if you are definitely a Nigerian citizen. So I just used my father's my father's family address. And then after filling in the application, you then go on to a different website. And also, as you fill in an application, because of the documents they ask you at the door, please read that information that they ask you. I think it's about 4 to 5 documents for renewal. So as you're filling in the application, I like screenshotted things as I went. It asked you to print it off, but I didn't have a printer with me when I was doing mine. So I just made sure that I saved it on in my laptop and, saved it according to whatever they require. So if this is like passport application page, please print off this page. It would usually tell you. I save it immediately. And, I had a folder for what I needed to print later. I was going to print it. But I do recommend if you can print it right then and there, just print it. So at least you're still in the zone, in the season, you're printing it off, what they say you should print off, but also saving it so that you can access it later. So that's what I did. I saved it and then, I knew what I needed to print because everything was to be printed folder kind of thing. So after you do that application, it then sends you to another website, like I think it's Innovate Services or something of that sort, where you where you pay for the application. So my application was about $94 and it's in dollars. Don't ask me why when we're dealing with the Nigerian embassy in the UK. Anyway, it was in dollars and then you pay for like a service charge or whatnot. So that's about $106 or so that you pay for the application, and then your payment receipt, you need to keep that as well, all of those good stuff. But like I said, please read the website and it will tell you exactly what you need because the process changed as I just got my passport. Crazy. I'll tell you about that story shortly. So I did all of that, got all my documents. Now it's to get an application, to get an appointment. I finished paying for everything. They're like, thank you very much. I said, where is the appointment? Are you going to give me an appointment? Are you going to tell me how to get an appointment? Nothing of that sort. Nothing. Point blank period. So I was like, you know what? Let me just email them and see if they happen to reply to their emails. They have like 3 emails on their website. So I emailed all of them and I was like book an appointment kind of vibe. But then on the website, it was the period where they were not doing fast track. So they have the service of normal and they have a service of fast track, even if everybody really ends up doing fast track, is what I realized in the end, right? So they were not doing fast track. They had a huge backlog that apparently, they were investigating and they were trying to clear through. So therefore there was no fast track. So what fast track meant was you could just go without an appointment and get it done, right? While the normal process meant that you had to book. So this was in the phase where fast track had supposedly not resumed yet. So I was like, I need to find an appointment so that I can, take holidays, get ready to go to London. And I was like, going to do like a weekend there or something. So tell me why I can't find anywhere to book an appointment. The website that I saw was just looking weird. And you don't want to now say you've booked an appointment and you've not really booked an appointment because it's not the right website. So I emailed them. And thankfully, they actually replied. They replied to me like 24 to 48 hours later. And they were like, they don't have any appointments available at the moment because, they've got such a huge backlog and there's no fast track either, and they'll get in touch with me whenever there's an appointment available. And I was like, yeah, le bâton, it's finished, because I mean, these people are not going to get back to me. They're not going to get back to me anytime soon. So let me just throw that information, I'll be that mind in the bin, because I'm not getting anything anytime soon. So I thought if I was going to go to Nigeria later or soon, I'll just get the emergency travel certificate, which is the alternative option that I believe they introduced because of such a huge backlog of people not being able to get their passport. So you basically do your ETC. Yeah, ETC or ETF. No, it's not ETF. Thinking of investing. ETC, I believe it's called, emergency travel certificate, and you can go without your passport. But I don't know all the details about that. I do believe it has some restrictions here and there. So again, read about it if you are trying to travel soon, if you don't have enough time. So I left it there and I was like, okay, le bâton, it's not going to happen then. And then a couple of weeks after, I believe like in October or so, my dad sent me like a little, you know those things that they used to forward on WhatsApp, like 10,000 people probably received it. He forwarded it to me, and it was basically a flyer that says Nigerian Embassy fast track resumed. I was like, this looks like obviously scam. This looks like nothing that I should probably listen to. But I think I then saw it again somewhere else. So I was like, you know what, let me just email this, because there was an email on the flyer that wasn't the Nigerian Embassy email. So let me just clarify, right? So I went to email the email, and I was like, oh, I'm just checking if your fast track has resumed. Guess what? They replied to me, oh, we thank God, but they replied to me with a flyer. They didn't even say hi. I'll show you. I'll put it in the screen somewhere. They didn't say hi, hello, bye, many thanks, regards. They just literally pasted the flyer that I saw on WhatsApp. So I was like, okay. I mean, I suppose that means fast track is resumed. So I went on the website and I went to check, because they have like this little pop-up thing that looks like virus really on their website, and it kind of gives you update on what the latest update is, right? So when I say make sure you keep on top of information, you're looking for that box, because that's where they would put like an updated information there. So when you go on the website, it kind of just comes up. So I went there, and obviously I saw fast track resumed. So I read the document in depth, and it basically had criteria. It was like, oh, you can only come like Wednesday to Friday between 9 and 1. And obviously you need to pay extra money. It was like an extra £120 postal order, plus your £20 admin fee for fast track. So that was like another £140. Bear in mind, I already paid $106 initially. Right? I was like, cool, calm. I mean, this is the only way, really, because nobody's about to wait for whatever they think that is going to come in terms of normal appointment. It doesn't exist. Basically, what I got from it initially was you just come any day between the time they've told you to come, and they can do it. And I just thought that's a bit too free. Like, I don't trust these people before they tell me I cannot enter. So anyway, I checked, and then I asked somebody that had just been recently, like the week or a couple of weeks before. And they were like, yeah, they just turned up. So I was like, okay, that's fine. So all I need to do now is book my ticket, make sure I have the right documents, and just queue up, and it's fine. Which is what I did, thankfully. So I ended up booking my tickets for sometime in November. So I went towards the end of November, last weekend or so of November 2021. And I had printed all my documents, and everything was set. Took my old passport. I'm going to come back to that. Because, yeah. Remind me. Anyway, so yeah, I think that's all I did for the pre-process. Just make sure you have all your documents. Make sure you read all the information on the website, right? And I try to keep up with it every now and again to make sure that, you know, nothing changes. So my appointment, like I said, I went the end of November. I flew into London about the day before, chilled, did what I need to do, and then like 5-6 a.m. I was already on the underground. London and that nonsense underground, I was already on it. I was already on the underground, ready to, you know, face the day. I'd already thought, I'm going to sleep here today, but you know, I already asked the Holy Spirit to help me. So yeah, I was already on the underground by like 6 a.m. or whatnot, and I got there by 7-ish, 7:30, between 7 and 7:30 was, I think, the latest I got there. Definitely not 8. I had my backpack, I was ready, my jacket, and yeah, but it was cold. My God, it was cold, and I was fasting that day, so I had to go and get a coffee, a hot chocolate, to firstly warm my hands because I felt like it was freezing off, and just to warm my body because I started to shake outside. But by the time I got there were like 10 people in front of me. I said, sorry, please. I was like, I'm so sorry, but how did you guys get here before me? Like, it's only like 7 o'clock or 7:30. Like, you guys not sleep? Or like, I don't get it. They were there just in, and I see they slept there. I'm not even joking. I feel like they slept there overnight. So I got there happy. I was like, I was speaking to some people, and I was like, please, why am I like the 10th or the 11th person here when I thought I'd be early? But anyway, I didn't complain because I knew I was quite close to the door. So like, there was a whole nother queue I knew that was going to form behind me. So I stood there for about 2 hours.
Can you spot the Nigerian flag?
It's 2 hours or just over 2 hours, because I think they opened around 9 or 9:30. I think I was expecting them to open at 9:30 and they opened at 9 or something along that nature. So that queue was also very interesting because people would leave the queue and be like, please save my space for me and I'll come back. So
God, look at the queue.
So when I saw people doing that, I was like, yeah, I told the guy behind me, I was like, I'm coming back. Because I went to go get Costa, because there's a Costa like around the corner. Because like I said, I was cold, and I didn't really have gloves with me as well. So please, depending on the weather, dress accordingly, because you're going to stand outside for a while, especially if you're going to go there early. But I do really recommend that you go there early if you can. I know it's not possible for everybody, but me, I was ready. So I went there early, and I think that really helped me as well, because I faced their morning mood, their first good mood, you get what I mean? No, not many people had vexed them yet. Yeah, the door opened, and I started laughing myself. I was like, here we go. Because the guy was like, everybody get in line, everybody get in queue, bring out your passports. And then he was like, if you don't have your NIN number, leave the queue. I say, what?
Passport, you must get national identification number. We started last week Friday. So if you made the application last week Friday to this present day, today, you need to go and use identification number.
So what of somebody who wants to travel like next week? What would you do?
You can apply for emergency or you can take your visa.
So thankfully I'd already read that information online, because like I said, I tried to keep up with it, and I read it like before I traveled, before I left. I'd hopped on the flight before I reached London. As I was on the underground, I was keeping up with it in case anything changed, because I know they can say they are just closed today. They just happen to be closed today. So I wanted to make sure that I was on top of the information as much as possible. So if they say something, I'm not like surprised. You get seen that online, but that was for the people that had applied after a certain date. So thankfully my application had been done in like September, so mine was still considered like the old version. So I didn't need my NIN number, which was your national identification number. So basically from like the 20-something of November, any application after that, you would need an NIN number to be able to get a Nigerian passport till today, as far as I know. So they're changing it to like an advanced or enhanced e-passport. Don't know what's enhanced about it, but everybody needs an NIN number. So on the document that they updated on the website, it tells you where you can get your NIN number from. I was even so tempted to go and get it just in case, but then it was like £40. I said, kilo day, like what's going on? So I was like, you know what, it's fine, I'll just leave it, because according to the information I read, I don't need it because my application falls before the date it was introduced. So whenever I get to Nigeria, I'll go sort out my NIN number. As of now, let me get my passport. So if you're going to do your passport anytime from now you see this video, as far as I know, from November 2021, you need your NIN number to complete the application. And I believe they also ask for it online, compared to my application where that wasn't asked for. Yeah, the guy on the queue, if you don't have your NIN number, leave the queue. People were like confused, and I was explaining, and some people were like, obviously they didn't hear because he's trying to shout from the door, and the queue has like almost reached the road now. people obviously started complaining. It's like, oh, I don't have my NIN number, but you're not even telling me where to get NIN number from. So, and there were some people that just needed to ask like one question or so, and they had jumped the queue to go and ask the guy in front. And the guy was just like ignoring them, like no human being was speaking to me. He was like, don't ask me any questions. Go if you want to have a question. I don't care how short the question is. I don't care how long the question is. Go and join the queue, right? The guy was like, I just want to know, let's say, how long it takes a passport application. I suppose somehow I get it, because I mean, if everybody had a question, they would leave the queue to come and ask. But still, the manner in which it was handled, I didn't really like it. It was quite rude, in my opinion. And I was just praying. I was just praying within me. I was like, Father, help me. Because the people in front of me, they're people that started, you know, they couldn't get in because, let's say, they didn't have one of the documents they asked them to print off, they didn't print off, or they didn't have their postal order in check, because you need to go to the post office and do that. They didn't have their £120 postal order in check, or they didn't have their NIN number if they applied after a certain date. So different things were catching different people out. So as it got to my turn, I said, Father, because I knew I wanted to check those documents again before I came, but I don't think I did. I just hoped that whatever I had saved in the folder at the time of application was correct. I think I checked it once, but I wanted to like triple check it, but I didn't. So I was having a little bit of doubt, but thankfully, it started to rain as well when it was almost my turn. And I was like, I don't want to really be outside in this rain. And as the Lord will have it, they let me in. We bless God. I was so thankful. So there are different stages in this application process. There's the outside stage where before they let you in. There's a downstairs stage. If you don't make the downstairs stage, you don't go upstairs. There's the upstairs stage. If you don't make it upstairs, or if you make it upstairs, there's still the biometric stage where they actually do it. So there are different stages you need to like hop through the hurdles. And yeah, the Holy Spirit and Jehovah needs to help you. So we went into the downstairs phase. It was quite empty because, like I said, I was one of the first ones to get in. And some of the people that were outside with me, some of them, like I said, hadn't gotten in. And there was this guy that was behind me that managed to get in as well. I was like, yay, we're in, you know, we bless God. But he got caught out downstairs, which was not funny, because he didn't have his passport. So he had something that looked like a Nigerian passport, but apparently it wasn't the original passport. So immediately I got in, they called me to come up to the little window thing that they do the thing, and they ask you for like your address, your phone number, they check your old passport. I don't know what they do, they just do something. So they need your old passport in that phase. So that's when this guy that was behind me, they asked him for his old passport, he gave it to them, and they were like, this is not a passport. And they started getting so annoyed. Why would you come here with something that's not a passport? The guy was like, this is my passport, because it literally was like a green booklet. I don't know what it was, but they said it wasn't a passport. Definitely one of the head people that never really has to relate downstairs was downstairs, and the guy came to intervene. He was like, this is not your passport. Why would you come here and think you can come here without your old passport and think we'll renew your passport? The guy was like, I think this is my passport. What do you mean? And they were like, go home and get your passport. He was like, I can't go home. I'm coming from far. And yeah, I think, you know, he wasn't really understanding how like this wasn't his passport. And I totally got it. I was trying to focus on my own business. Anyway, they were like, yeah, go and sit down. Go and sit down. Go and sit down. So I'm like, what's going on? So they're like, just go and sit down and we'll get back to you. And as he was walking away, not even a few steps, they were like, they insulted him in Yoruba. I'm not even going to try and repeat what they said, because yeah, it was vile. They were like, yeah, like, look at this one. Like, why would you think you come back here? Come here and try and do your passport without bringing your old passport. And they're like, you will sleep there. You will sleep there. So basically they told him to go and sit down. This man is here thinking that, oh, they're going to call me back soon. Sure. They told him to sit at the back, and yeah, their plan was he would sleep there. So I don't even know when he left, because I never saw him after that, because I never had to go downstairs. But thankfully I went through that phase, and the woman sent me upstairs by God's special grace. So all of these little things, like, it's like literally they can catch you up with the little things. Like, someone asked me to even bring the documents I don't think I need. I had to print off, photocopy my birth certificate as well, just in case. So please, if you're going like renewal or passport and whatnot, make sure you're carrying your passport. Like, I don't know what else is like a green booklet that is not your passport that Nigerian give you, but there's apparently something that's not your passport. So please make sure that what you're carrying is actually the documents that is required. Probably be quicker if he had left to go and actually get his passport and come back, because I don't know how long he ended up spending there. Anyway, got upstairs again, not too many people, but there was still a good number that already gone in, and that phase was they're going to then get you to do your like pictures and whatnot. And I remember a lady that was sitting there, she had come because she missed her delivery of her passport because they send it to you, which is funny because apparently fast track, they should give it to you the same day, but no, mine took 4 weeks. They said it was going to get to me by the 24th of December, and it got to me either the 23rd or 24th of December. So actually they thankfully stuck to their word, but no, definitely didn't get it on the day. So this lady had missed that delivery of her passport because she had been to do all of her documents like prior. So she came, she explained it to the lady at the desk upstairs, and she was like, oh, how long will it take? The lady just looked at her up and down. She was like, it's going to take long. It will take long. Oh, if you think that you are going to come here and rush us, it will take long, about 2-3 hours. She was like, I'm just here to pick up the passport delivery I missed. She was like, if you're not ready, you be going. If you are coming here, you are going to be ready to, you should be ready to sit down and take a while. I say, wow. So me, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely sleeping here. I was like, yeah, nah. But as the Lord were having, like 5 minutes or so, they called me. So they call your name and take you to another room. They called me and did all of my picture, my documents and whatnot. It looked weird because they were just like, sit down, don't smile, put your ear back, can you come, sit down and do your thing. Yeah, so I did all of that, and then I went back to the room, and I think then that's when you need to fill all like your postal things and where they're gonna post it to. So you need to come with this silver like bag, Royal Mail special delivery, and someone had told me to bring it and I didn't bring it. So thankfully when I got to that desk, just like I said, because everything had gone so quickly for me, the lady was like, just go to the post office and buy. And I think there was a guy outside selling it or something, but I don't know, I didn't ask him and he didn't come to me, so I just said, let me go to the post office they sent me to. So as I was leaving, she was like, come here, just help me buy juice.
Okay, that's fine. Orange juice. Yeah.
It was so funny. I was like, wow. I felt like, you know, when an auntie sends a child on an errand, that's literally how it felt. So she counted coins for me, like £1 something. She was like, yeah, help me buy this orange juice from Tesco. I said, auntie, don't worry, I got you. Is that what you want? I'll do it for you. Post office. The post office I felt like was a bit far, maybe because my feet was quite sore after standing for so long. So if you can get your Royal Mail special delivery bag, please get it before you go to the embassy. It just saves you a lot of stress. Because if I'd gotten it then, I would have just given them the bag and just gone. And to be honest, I probably would have left there even earlier than an hour that I spent in there. So I left there and I was just thanking God as to like how the process had been going. And I was updating some of, you know, my people and people that had been recently. And they were like, you know, it looks like it's going well, it looks like it's going fast. And I was like, yeah. Thankfully, hopefully, by God's grace. And I came back and I filled in all the details on the form, and she was like, yeah, you're going to get your passport in about 4 weeks time on the 24th of December. And I was like, hopefully. But thankfully, I hadn't booked any flight or anything, so I wasn't really bothered as far as I see the passport. And by the grace of God, it actually came on time. Either it came on the 23rd or on the 24th exactly, which was like amazingly accurate. That was my experience with the Nigerian embassy. Like I said, thankfully they didn't stress me. By God's grace, I found great favor, and I'm super grateful to God for that. And I know that you can as well, despite all the, you know, negative stories going around regarding the Nigerian embassy. Just make sure that you keep on top of the information, you read the information properly on the website, you make sure that you're carrying all the right documents that they ask you to carry, you update yourself with like the notifications. Like I said, things change, all the notifications that pertain to you, make sure you keep on top of that. And you know, if you can go early on the day, please go early, and it just saves you, even if it's queuing up, it just saves you. I feel like, you know, by God's grace, it saves you a lot of time, where you can just get in there and hopefully get out. I think when more people are in, obviously they start dealing with more people, it might just get a bit more chaotic. So yeah, that was my experience. Let me know if you've had a similar experience, and yeah, I'm so grateful. So now I've renewed my passport. I don't have to worry about that place again for another 5 years. But I think with the new passport that they introduced was like the 10-year one. That's why I wanted to get my NIN number so I can do the 10-year one. But then I was like, let me just leave it, because I don't want to complicate things that don't need to be complicated before they start calling me and saying I don't have something. So next time, hopefully I'll do the 10-year one so I don't have to go there too often. But yeah, like I said, this is relating to me and my situation of passport renewal. The rules have most likely changed, knowing them. So please keep up with it. But I hope this video helped you. I hope you were able to get a better insight to how the Nigerian Embassy UK works. And yeah, I hope we can hear more positive stories about that location by God's grace. But they do need a lot of holy water. They need a lot of Holy Spirit. But it is well, as the Lord helps our country. But thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.